Hello. Sorry I haven't updated in a while. Not that you would know that, but I guess this video, like part 2, is gonna be later than it would have been because I just haven't been reading the last couple days. But I'm here with an update. I finally finished Eliza and Her Monsters. I just finally made myself sit down and power through the rest because I had like 70 pages left or something. And this book is so quick. Like the margins are like 2 feet wide. Like this was amazing. I know everybody else in the world read it like 4 years ago, but I only read it now, so what can you do? But this was so good. I know I mentioned it briefly, but it's about this girl named Eliza, and she is in high school, and she has this webcomic that's like really, really famous, but nobody knows that she writes it. She uses like an alias online. So the book is like about that, but like also so much more. It's about like stories and creation and fandom, and also anxiety and trying to love yourself in the way that who wrote this? Francisca Zappia. The way that she blends all that together along with Eliza's romance with this boy named Wallace is just seamless. I thought it was done so well. I loved Wallace. It was just so good. I was going to give this book 4 stars because I was just constantly annoyed throughout the book by the way that Eliza interacts with her family. Her family dynamic is actually kind of like mine. She's the oldest and she has 2 younger brothers. I have a younger brother and a younger sister, and I really appreciated that her brothers were teenagers. I feel like in most books, the characters either have like an older brother or they have like a way younger brother, like a younger brother who's like 8 and like loves them, if that makes any sense, who's like that, that cutesy younger brother who like wants to do everything with the main, you know what I mean. But I really appreciated that her younger brothers are teenagers because I have a 16-year-old younger brother and it's a wild ride, and it was a lot like this. But the way she interacts with her family for a lot of this book just annoyed the shit out of me. She just was very ungrateful for her family. And I know it's like she's supposed to be like a teenager and like annoyed with her family or whatever, and she kind of learns her lesson, but I was still a little annoyed with it at points. But I gave this 5 stars because all the other stuff just completely made up for it. I feel like this video might be kind of boring because I'm enjoying all these books. Like there's no like tea. But anyway, this was really good. Hello again. I know I'm sitting in the exact same spot in the exact same clothes. If my appearance is worse than it was before, it's because I just went on a walk with a friend of mine, and it's like 93 degrees out where I am right now. So we literally power walked around the block, and then we were like, no, we're done. We're done. But I also wanted to update. I've also been listening to The Raven King, which, is just all I want to do right now. It's so good. I love the audiobooks. I feel like they take a little bit to get used to because the guy who does it has kind of a weird voice, but he does it really well, in my opinion. I'm like almost halfway through, and there's like a little short story in the back, so it looks like I'm not almost halfway through, but I am. This is so good so far. I love Gansey more than I love myself, so I'm just really enjoying all the Gansey content we're getting. It's interesting because he's not, for being like, I mean, Blue is the main character, but for being like the other main character in these books a lot, if that makes any sense, like he's more the one being talked about all the time than like seeing from his head. But I feel like this is his book, so I'm really worried about the end of the series. But this book's so good so far, so I'm hoping that it'll be good. I listened to a ton of it today. I'll just listen to it throughout the week, and I'll probably finish it by the end of the week. So, well, it's already Thursday, so maybe not, but I'm enjoying it. Hello. It's been many days since I last updated. I don't know why I didn't update before now. I just didn't, but we're here now. I have many things to update you on. You can see my light fixture reflection in my glasses. This is high-end living in this video, baby. Anyway, I have 3 things I want to talk about. One is that I believe the previous clip is me finishing Eliza and Her Monsters, or that was the last book I finished or something like that. So first of all, I gave the book 5 stars, but upon further reflection, I lowered it to a 4. I still really, really enjoyed it, but you know how I was talking about how I was really annoyed about how Eliza handles her family relationship. I decided that that was kind of enough to dock a star, even though that I still really recommend that book, especially if you're a fan of like fandom or stories. Still really recommend, but I'm trying to be really skimpy. Is that the right word? Really, I just don't want to give out a lot of 5 stars. I want like 5 stars to like really be like my favorite books. And after a few days, Eliza and Her Monsters was just kind of like fading from my brain, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't sticking, so I lowered it. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Second thing is I finished 2 books since I last updated, which is great. I feel like I'm finally reaching the end of this video idea. As we talk now, I have 3 books left to finish. So maybe that's not near the end, but closer than we were before. So anyway, first of all, I want to talk about Dance of Thieves. I actually don't have it with me right now because I immediately put it in a pile to give away because I didn't like it. I gave it like 2.5 stars. I rounded it up to 3, but like it doesn't deserve it. I don't know why I did that. I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed because I really enjoyed Mary E. Pearson's other trilogy in that world, but this Dance of Thieves was just like so like not good. Like the world is still good. I do really like Mary E. Pearson's world building. And I also really liked that so one of the main characters, Jace, had a really big family. He had like 1,000,000 siblings. And I appreciated that because I feel like 95% of main characters have like are only children, and I'm like, yo, like I know maybe like 5 only children total in my entire life. Like almost almost everyone I know in my life has siblings. So I liked that represented in the book. But like all of his siblings had the exact same personality. Like I kept thinking that his mom was one of his sisters because they all said the same things. Like all of their dialogue, tone of voice, personality, exactly the same. Like I could not differentiate any of them. It was very annoying. So that was one thing I didn't like. The main thing I didn't like was the romance. Was like the way I described it in my Goodreads review is it felt gross, and not like gross as in like non-consensual, which would give this book a 1 star. So thankfully it wasn't anything like that, but it was gross in the way that like when you're watching a TV show and like in a sitcom or whatever, when the kids see their parents making like kiss or something and they're like, oh my god, gross. That's how I felt about Jace and Cassie this whole book. And everything they said to each other, I was like, ugh, gross. Like, I don't know. The dialogue just did not flow. I did not connect to their relationship. And their relationship is the majority of this book. Like, I just was not feeling the romance at all, which is saying something because usually any romance is good for me. And this was just not it, baby. Like, ooh. So I did not like that at all. I don't know. I was just so excited because the beginning of Dance of Thieves was really promising. Like it was really setting up for this really good enemies to lovers romance. But then they fell in love and like literally 20 pages tops and they were in love. It was so insta-lovey. And then the rest of the book was just them being like, "Oh, I love you." And I'm like, "Where are the stakes, man?" Like, oh, I just did not enjoy it. So I gave it 3 stars, but it's more like a 2. The 2.5 stars are really for the world, and that's it. Maybe I should lower it. I don't know, but I didn't hate it. But anyway, that's that. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about in this little clip is I finished The Raven King today. My bookmark's still in there, but that's because like a short story is in the back, and I read like 1 page of that or something. So I'll read that eventually, but I gave this 5 stars. Again, I don't know if no, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. I was about to say I don't know if it deserves 5 stars, but the majority of this book, 95% of this book is a masterpiece. I loved this book so much. I love Gansey, like I've said a million times, and this book was a lot about Gansey, and I love that. I thought that so many things in this book were done brilliantly and tied together really well. Sometimes you don't always know where sometimes I didn't really know where Maggie Stiefvater was going with some of these plot lines, but I feel like she did a really good job in this final book kind of explaining and doing a lot of things. The ending wasn't 100% satisfying to me just because I felt like it got wrapped up really quickly. Like within 10 to 15 pages, everything was like boom, 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 wrapped up. But like, I don't think there was any ending of this series that I would have been completely satisfied with. Like, I was thinking about it today and talking with one of my friends about it, and this series must have just been impossible to wrap up. Like, I don't know if any ending would have completely satisfied me. So, like, that's why I feel like it still deserves 5 stars, because this is a great book and an amazing series that, I mean, it's really hard to end something like that and it be perfect. And it's not a perfect series, but it's a 5-star series. So it is kind of perfect. But yeah, I thought there are a couple scenes in this book specifically that blew me away. So even though the ending wasn't like the most amazing thing I'd ever read, those other scenes completely make up for it. You know what I mean? I definitely want to read Call Down the Hawk, which is like a sequel series about Ronin. I'm definitely going to read it, but just not for a while, because I basically binge read this series, and I need to take a step out for a little bit because it's very whimsical, very magical realism, and it's a lot. And I'm going to miss Gansey and Call Down the Hawk. I know everybody loves Ronan, and I understand why everyone loves Ronan. He's great, but I'm gonna miss Gansey, my man. I love him. Yeah, so that's all I have for today, or tonight. It's like 12. It's like midnight. So I have 3 left. I have City of Ashes, Demon's Covenant, Nevernight. I feel like Nevernight is gonna take me freaking forever, but Demon's Covenant and City of Ashes, I'm really hoping I can like plow through this week. And I won't have a lot to say about those because I've already read them. But I'll catch you then. See ya. Why did I turn my phone off like this? Very sorry. Hello, everyone. I just got back from my beach vacation. So I read a bunch of different stuff when I was there, just to postpone putting up the second part of this vlog, even more than it's already postponed. But I just want to update because on the way to and from the beach, I listened to this audiobook for the Demon's Contract. I have a book I'm working on called The Demon's Contract. That's really funny. The Demon's Covenant by Sarah Reese Brennan. And I thought I would take this time to kind of explain what this book's about. So, actually, let me go get the first book like a smart person. Okay, back. Here's the first book. The covers are aghast, I'm aware. This one's a little better because at least Nick's on the cover, who's my favorite. Anyway, yeah, at least that one's okay, but like this one is a character named Sin, and Sin is probably in this book for 50 of the 450 pages, so I have no idea why she's on this cover doing this weird flingy hair thing. But anyway, so these books are about this character, Nick, and Nick's brother, Alan, and also about 2 other siblings named May and Jamie. And Nick and Alan, basically, they're being hunted by, I was trying to remember the plot of the first book. They're being hunted by magicians, and so they're basically just trying to combat magicians and live their lives. And then Jamie and May come to their house one day because Jamie's been marked by a demon, which magicians use demons for like bad shit or whatever. So Jamie's been marked and they need Nick and Alan's help because Nick and Alan like know all the stuff about the demon world. So that's kind of the plot of the first book. The first book is from Nick's perspective, and then the second book is from May's perspective. I don't like May as much as I like Nick, but it's fine. So basically, like I said a long time ago, these books were written like 2007, 2008, and they definitely have like the 2001 like bad boy vibe for like the romance or whatever. So that part's really cringy and like kind of like Twilighty, I don't want to say, even though I don't have like I've never read Twilight, which is shocking, I know, but we will move on from that quickly. But my main love, the reason I love these books so much is because I love Nick and Alan's relationship so much. Like I would read them like sitting around on the couch for like I would read an entire book about like just any interaction they have. Like honestly, I'm reading this book and I don't care about anything else except Nick and Alan. So yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm like almost done. I have maybe 150 pages. That's not almost done. 150 pages, not almost done. But I'm getting there. The audiobook's great. I wish there was an audiobook for the third one as well, but there's not. So I'm just going to read it with my eyes. Oh, I also wanted to mention two more things about Demons. I almost said contract again. Demon's Covenant. First of all, this is a reread. I've already read this before, but I'm actually having a great time because I remember nothing. So it's basically like reading it for the first time. So I wanted to mention that. And then also, I wanted to put in, if any of you guys are Fullmetal Alchemist fans, like me, the artist, the woman who drew Fullmetal Alchemist, she actually, I found this when I was first reading these books. She did like a... I think she illustrated the cover for the Japanese version, and I'll put it right here because it makes me weak. Like, I love it so much. Like, these two worlds colliding like this blew my mind as a 17-year-old or whatever I was when I first read these. So, yeah, I wanted to share. So, please enjoy. Hello. I'm here just to tell you I finished this, and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. These are all my... Oh, you can't see that. Oh, yes, you can. All my favorite parts. Because I dog-ear the pages on my favorite parts. I'm evil. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. I don't feel like I've said a lot about this book already, so that's it. I loved it. It was a reread, so I knew I was going to, but I still like it. And now I can finish the trilogy. Yay! Hello. So... in a strange turn of events, even though it's many days later since I've last updated this video, which I'm still determined to make happen, by the way. I've not given up. You might, now that you're seeing the whole video, you're like, the last clip and this clip were right next to each other, but it's been a while. So I'm finally reading Nevernight. I'm about more than halfway through. I'm finally into it. This book took me forever to get into. I don't know. The beginning to me was just like slow as dirt. I don't know. I'm sorry. It was. The next little clip you're about to see is a Snapchat I filmed my Snapchat. A Snapchat that I sent to my friends Kat and Aaron, who I read a bunch of books with. That's why the camera is gonna be like vertical instead of horizontal. Okay, we're gonna go because I almost didn't know what vertical and horizontal was. So enjoy that little clip of my reading experience. So in addition to reading A Darker Shade of Magic this weekend, I'm also trying to finally finish Nevernight because I put it down for like 2 months. So I'm like over halfway through. It's gone well. But, okay. So Trick's by far my favorite character. Like, if he dies in this series, I'm gonna be so sad. But he's by far my favorite. And this whole time, I've been picturing him as like a short little scrawny mousy guy, because I think he at the very beginning he fights a guy that's described as way bigger than him, or for some reason the descriptions we were given just made me think that that's what he looked like. But now in all the recent pages I've read, it's Trick is buff and ripped and huge, and I'm I don't know what to do. My brain is confused. I swear to God, the first 100 pages of the book, he's like, yeah, Trick is tiny man. And he's little and scrawny. And then I just got to the scene where they danced at the masquerade. Him and Mia danced at the masquerade. And Mia was like, yeah, I had trouble finding a jacket to fit his jacked shoulders. And I was like, who's jacked shoulders? Excuse, pardon, who? A miracle has happened. I finally finished Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I finished it like a couple days ago, but I just haven't updated it. This took me forever to read. Sometimes this happens where I just get stuck on a book and read it for forever, especially like adult books that require like brain power. Yeah, why is my hair like suddenly deciding to do this? Am I Justin Bieber? Yeah, so I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know, like, it's a good book, and Jay Kristoff is a good writer, but the end did me so dirty. I don't want to spoil it, and I won't, but, like, low-key hated the ending. I'm a very character-based reader, so if, like, stuff happens, so I, like, pick a favorite character, and if the plot doesn't go the way I want it to for my favorite character, I just take it personally. And, like, I don't know, characters are what I enjoy about books, so I don't want to read books where I'm not enjoying what my favorite characters, like, what happens to them, you know? Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series. I've read plenty of other Jay Kristoff books, so I don't know if I feel the need to finish this trilogy. This is kind of an underwhelming finish for this book that I've been reading for literally 2 months, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that's all. I just have City of Ashes, and then I'm done with this project I've been trying to do. I've been holding this for a really long time. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Join me on my floor because, hallelujah, praise Jesus Christ, I have finished City of Ashes, my reread, and that means that I finished this vlog. Oh my god. Yeah, this is 5 out of 5 stars, of course. All my favorite parts because Simon is my one true love. Anyway, it was so good to reread this. I'm very pleased. Many favorite parts. My childhood, reliving middle school. I mean, reliving middle school isn't fun, but this was a great part of middle school, reading these books. Yeah, so that was great, and I'm finally done with this video. I hope this gives you a taste of how chaotic my reading is. I really do just, like, pick up books and then let them sit forever, and now I have a whole bunch of other books I'm in the middle of. But I'm gonna go through really quick and just recap everything from part 1 and this part, and then we can finish everything, and it'll be great. Okay, so first off, I read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I reread Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. There's a theme. I really do like the 4 out of 5 star rating if you've been here for a little bit. Next, I read Eliza and Her Monsters by Francisca Zappia. I gave this 4 to 5 stars. Next, I read Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, which I've already gotten rid of because I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it at all. And then I read The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. This is probably more like a 4 out of 5 star, but I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because of Richard Campbell Gansey III. Then I reread The Demon's Covenant by Sarah Rees Brennan. This cover gets a 1 out of 5, but the book, the reread, was 5 out of 5. And then I read Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. This was what held me up. This took me so long to read. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And then I finally finished City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, my reread. Oh my god, with blinding metallic light. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. So yay! I am so happy that we've all made it to the end here. So yeah, this was kind of a whole summer endeavor, but let me know if you want anything like this again. I am currently in the middle of 4 books. At least it's not 9, but it is 4, so that's not great either. Anyway, have a great night. Bye!